Hare Krishna. Welcome to my Radha Madhav channel. This is Sindhu here. I'm happy to be associating with all of you after a short gap. I think more than 13 days it's been before I've posted my previous video. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think it was also a very interesting topic on, we saw about 5 lessons or 5 powerful ways to stay positive and happy always. Right? You have enjoyed it. And today is also yet another beautiful topic. The topic is be present in the present. Right? As the present itself is a present given to us by the Lord. So basically the topic is living in the present. As you can see in the image, I usually read this article at the end, towards the end. But today I thought, it was very interesting. So let us just quickly go through this article and then we will come to the main topic of discussion according to the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So let me start with a small prayer. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुषुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, before getting into the introduction, let's see what this article is talking about. The image is by Holly Mandarich. Okay, on Splash it's given. It's a wonderful image. Oh, I wish I could get those days back. Those were such good times. This is what everyone seems to be saying when old school memories are revisited. I'm sure it's same for all of us, which is then followed by when we were kids, we wanted to grow up. But when we grow up, we want to be kids again, says someone who seemingly is very much in tune with the worldly realities. Kindly excuse me for the voice. I'm having a bit, coldish and sore throat. It is in fact very true, even though it's been cliched so much that no one really cares when you say it. When we look through those old school photographs, we always think about how the time was, whether good or bad. We immediately find ourselves in a flush of memories, pleasant or not. And we stop to think about those times gone by, those moments that changed our lives, for better or for worse, if they felt like a boon or a curse. If somebody has had a bad childhood, were neglected, abused, or bullied, would definitely want to forget that part of his or her life. Whereas others wouldn't dare forget the sweet memories of their childhood, the stories of their grandfathers, and playful togetherness of the family. It is funny how sometimes people say that they want to be a child again, for they will get to be free from the worldly worries and be able to enjoy a game of ball without having to think about that presentation tomorrow. Be able to have the weekends off, be able to sleep like the world doesn't exist, eat whatever they want, say whatever they think, and not be taken offense of. The life we lived before we grew up often seems better than the present, doesn't it? How can we forget that was a time we couldn't wait to grow up, couldn't wait to be able to go out on our own, spend from our own pockets, live on our own, and be important enough to be taken seriously? Now that we are finally here, and we live our lives on our own terms, we still find ourselves daydreaming about the time ahead of the present. May it be that party that's going to happen on the coming Saturday, worrying about that assignment which is due for the next month, or fearing not being successful enough to enjoy the life that we are dreaming of, have dreamt of. The present is never satisfactory. We either dwell in the past or wait for the future, hoping it will bring a better time than right now. It's either that the past was so beautiful or a belief that tomorrow will bring a better sunshine. It's either that the past is a part that you want to erase from your memory, or the future is feared for the inadequacy of today. The present isn't pleasant enough, isn't it? Is it? But we forget the only and most important missing point here, that right now is that all we have. Right now is all that we have. We can't change something we did in the past, but what we can do is not repeat the same folly from now for what we want to see our life as in the future. We cannot change the past, but we can learn from it. We cannot predict the future, but operate towards it, making it suitable to fit in a perfect dream. I have a friend whom I met in graduate college who had a childhood where she was bullied all through her school days. It had imbibed in her mind that she isn't pretty and she isn't loved. That thought process led her to believing that she will never be pretty enough or lovable to be with someone. She had the tendency to push people away. And then she would complain of how nobody wanted to be with her. What my friend and many of us don't understand is that even though a lot of our past experiences make us what we are today, that it is in our hands, solely ours and nobody else's, to extract the positive out of it and become a better person. The past was beautiful, cherish it. If it was painful, build from it. Not let the past affect our ability to see the world in a better way. Not let it hinder our hearts into trusting people, and definitely not let it cage our hearts away from love. It may seem difficult to be able to do all these things, but remember, sunshine follows the rain and there is always relief after the pain. It's a nice line, isn't it? Sunshine follows the rain and there is always relief after the pain. The past had the purpose of teaching us to be stronger, gather from the broken pieces of our lives and build a stronger physique. Our job is to incorporate it in our present and build an even stronger future with these life lessons. As Lao Tzu puts it, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. And if you are at peace, you are living in the present. Remarkable article, isn't it? Okay, now let's see what Sri Krishna talks about living in the present moment. Being in the present moment according to the Bhagavad Gita. Right? So living in the present, I would like to share an article on this image. Give me a moment. Yeah. See, as you can see in the image, Sri Krishna's just hold on to the present moment attention constantly. All dualities that torment you get destroyed automatically. It's a wonderful saying, isn't it? Okay, let's go on to the topic. Introduction. See, it's a very popular and valuable saying. After all, that's where we can do anything worthwhile. We can and should learn from the past and plan for the future. At the end of the day, whatever we are going to do has to be done in the present. Yet we all know how difficult it is to live in the present. Our mind wanders forcefully towards the past or the future only. So being in the present requires a willpower. The Bhagavad Gita explains here that we are the eternal souls and eternal part and parcel of Sri Krishna, and we are meant to delight in towards a loving service to him. Okay? And Sri Krishna further says, you neither lose anything or gain in this drama called life. Right? You never lose or gain anything in this drama called life. So stop regretting over the past or forecasting about the future, as we don't have control over it. What we have in our hands right now is the present. So we live according to our dharma and fulfill all our duties to our best capacity. So Bhagavad Gita also tells that we should be equally happy in handling both the happiness and distress in our lives, both success and failures, all the dualities which exist in our material life. Right? So now we can talk in detail about the verses. Okay. So first I want to mention chapter 2, 47th verse, what Krishna is saying. Let's read out the verse sloka. Karmani evadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbur ma te sango akarmani. Repeat. Karmani evadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbur ma te sango swakarmani. So what Krishna is telling here, you have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of the action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. I think it's a self-explanatory one. Prabhupada has a beautiful purport here. It's written, you can all go through it, 2.47. And in the next verse is 19th verse. Sri Krishna is telling, Ya enam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. So what it says, neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is a knowledge, for the self slays not nor is slain. Right? So this verse, Shri Krishna has explained it in two ways. He's talking about the present moment, is also talking about the knowledge. Why he's using the word knowledge? Let's see what he says. The present moment, see, the person who's not in the present but either in the past or is in future is in the mind is knowledgeable but he is not wise, following the words but he is not using his intelligence. Right? Present neither knows the past because it is no more, nor does it know the future because it is not yet come. Right? But the mind is always concerned either with the past or with the future, never with the present. So when you are in the present moment, you transcend. You are using your logical mind as your servant, but logical mind cannot use you. Right now, Arjuna is taking the example of Arjuna, the servant of the logical mind. He becomes very convincing, but not ready to return back to the present moment. Present moment brings responsibility. So you can escape from your responsibility when you are knowledgeable in the past or future. To end the misery that has afflicted the human condition for thousands of years, you have to start with yourself and take responsibility for your inner state at any given moment. That means the present moment. So life is not as complicated as our minds lead us to believe. Existence is only in the present. The mind is never in the present. In fact, the moment you are in the present, there is no mind. Instead, there is only a great silence. Because only the present is eternal. So the easiest way to live in the present is to watch our mind carefully. Capture the moment. Krishna says. Arjuna is thinking and dreaming about the future because he was unconscious about the present. So once he becomes conscious, immediately he will realize what is assigned, what is his assignment of the universe. So right now his consciousness is clouded with unconsciousness and knowledge. See, Shri Krishna is repeating here, he is using the word knowledge as Arjuna's ego would get hurt. Right? And that in that pain he will be able to create, the separation. So that is the reason he is using this word knowledge. Right? So what basically here we understood is that, so being in the present moment, right? This what is, we all want. Right? So otherwise what happens? It takes us away. It clouds our consciousness, as we saw the example of Arjuna. Right? So we have to keep doing our activities, keep doing our work without being attached to it. Right? So in that way we will be free from the results of the actions. Right? And we'll automatically associate to the mode of goodness. Right? So Arjuna here was therefore advised by the Lord, by Krishna. What he was advised? To fight as a matter of duty without getting attached to the results. Right? Because he was, we all know that he was, his non-participation in the battle was also another side of attachment. So such attachment never leads to any victory. Right? Any attachment, whether it's positive or negative, is a cause for bondage. And inaction is sinful, Krishna says. So therefore, he had to do his duty, fighting as a matter of duty. It was only the auspicious path, for Arjuna. Right? So, to conclude today's video, I would like to quote some few famous verses by some authors, famous and authors or leaders. Learning to live in the present moment is part of the path of joy, by Sarah Ban. Second quote, breathe, let go, and remind yourself that this very moment is the only one you have for sure. This is by Oprah Winfrey. Okay. 3, do not dwell on the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. It's by Buddha. 4, the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. It's by Albert Einstein. And 5, realize deeply that the present moment is all that you ever have. It's by Eckhart Tolle. Right? And we also saw in the article one of the very beautiful quote by As Leo loves you. Right? What he says: if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you're living in the present moment. So, what we have learned from this article, we have to incorporate all these lessons, whatever we have learned, and try to, what to say, practically apply, you know, in our day to day life and build a stronger future with these life lessons. Right? Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Catch you all with another motivational video. Until then, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. जय राधा माधव. Thank you. Hare Krishna.